Hi guys, thank you for coming to my channel, Heavenly Star Tarot. I will be doing my Aries today. This is going to be for the month of September 2020, approximately. It's going to be a general reading. It should apply to Sun, Moon, Rising, and or Venus. Energies go back and forth. Sometimes it's you, sometimes it's them. Cross watchers, you would be them. For the most part, I feel the message is for you, since you're the one that's watching. But that just means that the roles can be reversed. Okay. Let's get to it. My Aries, I call love and light, angels, spirit guides, higher self, all that is divine and heavenly. Please help me give my Aries the perfect message that is intended for them to receive, that will help them, guide them, show them on their true life purpose. Ooh, it's a celebration, apparently. Lovely. Some of you guys might be thinking about a reunion. Is it a family reunion? Reuniting with an old friend? I don't know, we'll see. Okay, it's time to celebrate, that's for sure. I'm going to do a 3-card spread. This deck is called the Wizard's Tarot. If you want to know which decks I use, that information is in the description box below. But we're going to get right to your reading. Your first card is going to deal with your recent past, which could be last year, last month, last second, person, place, or situation. Look at that. We have the 3 of Cups. Apparently that is the situation. Time to celebrate. Small percentage. Tiny. I'm going to say tiny. It has to do with your person celebrating with someone else, apparently. A possible third-party situation in the past has been affecting you. But remember, a third party does not mean always, definitely not always, that this is involving a cheating situation. It's just a third situation in your life that is affecting you in your life now. It could be in a good way or bad way, right? This could be a work situation, a home situation, money situation, kid situation, your own inner struggle situation, some freaking situation, right? But we'll get to the bottom of this, no worries. Your current energy, just 1 card. Ooh, it's a good situation, apparently. You have the 9 of Cups, my Aries. Look at dude, you chilling. Whatever the heck you were daydreaming about, thinking, when is this going to happen? This reunion, something to celebrate, apparently it's happening. 9 of Cups is wishes coming through. Wishes coming through. I'm going to tell you though, it's a lot of cups, so careful what you're drinking. You know, that wine, whatever that is. Some of you guys are actually celebrating the fact that you are free and go party and having fun and not thinking about your woes. Just living in the now, so that's good. It's a lot of emotional fulfillment. Wish coming through. Feeling good. Chilling. Nothing wrong with that. In your near future, you have Judgment. Okay. So, this would be some kind of awakening. So, it looks like there is a reunion, a reconciliation for some of you guys in some way. This is resurrecting something that you thought was not possible. Somebody coming back from the dead. A relationship coming back from the dead. Thought it was over. Apparently, somebody's deep inner wish was for it not to be over. And it came through. Nice. Others of you, where you're celebrating, has to do with some kind of legal issues. So maybe your wish was to get separated and get, your share of the assets. get the custody going, get the house, get one of the houses. I don't know your situation, right? But yeah, some kind of decision has been made, and it's making you happy, making them happy. Like I said, some of you, your wish was to be separated and be free, and others of you, your wish was to reconciliate and not be free. I'm just kidding. Depends how you look at that, right? But nice. Others, this is more in the spiritual sense, where you see the light, and this is very freeing, you know, where the material stuff is not as important as it used to be because you are happy with yourself. Oh. Beneath the deck, you have the Hierophant, a love line. You could be dealing with a Taurus. Definitely could be some kind of government issue. The Hierophant is about institutions, corporations. Has to do with higher learning. So definitely some spirituality. You have been enlightened. You've been made aware of something. And now you're feeling pretty carefree. You got the answer that you needed. Could involve actually like school, like because you see how he has like, you see how there's all this math stuff back there. There's something that was figured out. Figured it out, and it makes you happy. The Wheel of Fortune back there. Apparently this is going to get you moving where there was a stall. Now there's not. Especially if you guys, you know, some of that settlement money. Pretty happy. That's your Wheel of Fortune. Others of you, the Hierophant also talks about contracts. So, you know, like a marriage contract, a government contract, some kind of something that is a solid offer. Very traditional. Very traditional. Stable. A stable commitment. Looks good. Good job, my Aries. Okay, so now I'm going to clarify. Oh, this one wanted to pop out already. Clarifying the Three of Cups in reverse is Death in reverse. Why did I say that? Well, I guess for some of you, let me get back to this. So the Three of Cups is clarified by Death in reverse, right? Scorpio energy. So this is like rising from the ashes, that phoenix type energy. You could be dealing with a Scorpio, possibly. It doesn't have to be, or you can just, you know, have Scorpio in your rising or your moon or your Venus or any of them other placements. It doesn't matter. But this is a resurrection, reviving something from the dead. Something was like done, over. And apparently in your recent past, recently, there's something that makes you very, very happy because something has been revived. Like I was saying a second ago, this could be an actual resurrecting of a relationship, of a friendship, right? Something that you thought was over with, done with. And others of you, there is celebrating the fact that it's over, that you finally didn't fall for it, that you learned that karmic lesson. You didn't, you know, give in. That beating the dead horse type thing. So celebrating your freedom. Like, yeah, I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to resurrect this. I told you already it's not going to happen. So, yeah, no. And that was some kind of test that was accomplished. And now you can move on. Moving on. But it looks like for the most part, my Aries, something that was over and done with is coming back. Came back. And you're happy about it. Good for you. This could be you, actually, coming back. The way... Okay, let me explain this. I was getting the energy of someone feeling like whatever happened to the way I used to be. And letting that get to them a lot, you know. Wanting to reclaim that youthfulness or that way of thinking, something about the past. But what makes sense, what has been awakened, what you've been illuminated to, is that you don't have to dwell on the past of how you were, because that was how you were. Now you are a new you. You're a higher, like a better version of you. And you see this, like it's an aha moment, an epiphany. And this frees you from having to expect or want to be that old you. I hope that makes sense. Okay. And others, it's like, I'm back. I'm back. Feeling emotionally fulfilled again. Maybe getting out of that lack energy, hardships. If you got that contract, something you were waiting on from the government, come through, now you're kind of set. The Nine of Cups is clarified by the Five of Wands and reverse. Perfect. Awesome. No more fighting. So you put the wands down. Maybe you had that heart to heart, and you didn't let them push your buttons. I feel like you guys came to some kind of agree to disagree type thing. Not wanting to fight anymore. Because especially if it had to do like with a divorce, or it was whatever that was, very toxic and unhealthy and just gossipy, nasty. It wasn't worth it anymore, right? It was draining you. It was taking from you, and you weren't enjoying your now. It was taking away your peace, your mental clarity. Some of you guys might have even overspent trying to one-up the other in some way. But this wish was to stop arguments, stop the fighting, stop with the pettiness. And apparently that's happening. So there's a massive transformation happening. There's a big change. And maybe you never thought this was possible, or they didn't. But it was totally surprising to know that ultimately you kind of both wanted just to squash this, end it. And it's so freeing. So freeing. Whatever this is, it's not worth fighting for. And that makes you happy. That makes them happy. That makes everything happy. Right? Who the heck wants to fight all the time? Judgment. Here's your forward movement. It's clarified by the Chariot. Could be dealing with a Cancer. Possibly. Doesn't have to be. But this is full steam ahead. This talks about being victorious. I really, really feel like you just got, you woke up. It was a wake-up call. You woke up, and what used to be so tedious and so overwhelming, like perfectionist type energy, like it has to be this way, it has to be like that. Once you release that, surrender that, let it go, and understand that, you're not perfect, they're not perfect, nobody's perfect. It just took so much stress off. It was, this heaviness was just lifted, right? And that was like a very important lesson, a test even, that you needed to go through, that you needed to see. And now you can move on. Now you can move on. Could be an actual move. Deciding to get out of this toxic environment, whether it's work scenario, home scenario, person scenario, just not willing to fight for it. It's beneath you, each other. That sounded weird, but you know what I mean? So it's like, now you can move. And the best way to do that is to physically move. Like relocating. I don't have to stand for this. I'm not going to be involved in this. And you guys do what you got to do, but I'm going to leave. I'm moving on. I'm moving ahead. I'm not taking any step back. No more steps back. I just want to step forward. Small percentage. It could actually have to do with the 12-step type program, where that was a hindering factor, an overindulgence of some sort. Could be with the, alky, with the wine, with whatever that was used as a coping mechanism at some point, right? This is beautiful. Getting balanced. This is yin yang type energy. Moving on. Full steam ahead. I'm not looking back. I'm only looking forward. Apparently that was the problem. A lot of constant going back. When it's a reconciliation, a rekindling of a flame, this was what was agreed upon. This was the wake-up call. The wake-up call is like, look, if we're going to stay together, obviously we love each other and we want to, be with each other. We have to both agree and this time actually mean it. Let's not talk about the past, what you did, what I did, the pettiness. Because that's what's been keeping us in this cycle of not going anywhere. Right? And that was a major breakthrough, a major big victory. Beautiful. Some of you guys, this is involving a settlement in regards to some kind of car accident, insurance issue. Ooh, cutting the BS out. Got the King of Swords beneath the deck. So, yeah, it could be you needed to go to a professional, or this was a judge, someone in an authoritative figure that they put it in a way where you both saw it clearly. You know how sometimes you don't know that you're doing something wrong, like you might be a bit defensive, or your person is, but you don't see your flaws, they don't see their flaws, but you keep pointing their flaws out and they keep pointing your flaws out, but you don't see it because you think they're just saying that to push your buttons. Now let's say there's somebody else there and they happen to be watching this conversation or this argument. It could be a family member or that you both would trust and would value their opinion. So when they ask like, oh, so-and-so, did you just hear what they said? And the person's like, yeah. And actually, I don't see anything wrong with it. I feel that you kind of a little bit took it the wrong way. So that was a wake-up call. Like, dang, I guess you're right. Like, I never actually saw it that way. And then apologize, like, I'm sorry. And the other person is like, thank you. And I'm sorry for doing that. I didn't mean that. I just did it because you did that. Something like that, right? So that's for a percentage of you. Others, this is actually a, court situation where because it was decided upon and they ruled it was fair and just. This king is fair and just. He or she doesn't have to be, that. I feel it's more the energy. Or you guys kind of detaching from the emotional and looking at it in a different angle. More of with the fair and just type attitude. Like, all right, let's not forget about the drama, the past, whatever. Let's look at the now. What's going on now? I'll listen, you listen, and then we'll really, really have a real heart-to-heart, and not even heart-to-heart, a really intellectual of really what makes sense. You're right. That doesn't make sense, and yep, you're right. You know what? Let's cut this BS out. Let's do away with the pettiness. We're trying to one-up each other. So more clear-headed thinking. Maybe before there was the overindulgence, and that, really affected judgment, right? If you're under the influence, your judgment isn't always, it's an impaired judgment. So once that was eliminated, now next conversations, you kind of see why the other person was acting the way they were or how you were acting. Some of you guys might have seen a video of yourself being under the influence and totally woke you up like, oh, damn, that's how I act. My bad, right? But this is cutting away with the BS. No more BS, Could be you just cut people, places, situation out your life that you just no longer resonate with. And that made you move, instead of 10 steps back, 1 step forward. 1 step back, 2 steps forward. You're still back, right? So this really propelled you, excelled everything. You're just thinking clearly. You see Beautiful. I love it. You could be dealing with an air sign as well. An Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. I feel like there was a third person, a mediator, a counselor, someone else that put their 2 cents, but this time their 2 cents actually made sense. You know, it made $1 even. Nice. Whatever wasn't fair. Overall, it wasn't fair. So someone, this is something else. It's like, how do you ask them to do as you say and not as you do? You know, someone is like this, very controlling, demanding, and they're like, basically, do as I say, not as I do. I know that I'm not doing what I'm saying, but you need to do what I'm saying. Well, that's not fair. So there was that revelation of seeing that about one another, or whoever was doing it, or both, whatever, and realizing, like, you know what, we are equal. We are equal, and I'm sorry that I put it that way. We all want to be loved, we all want to belong. So what's up with the power struggle? This could even be a custody issue. Like, yeah, like, they're both our kids, and yeah, why not have them equal time? Something like that. You guys let me know below in the comments what the heck this is about, but whatever it is, it's a freaking breakthrough. Good job, my Aries. You're free. Freedom. Now let me give you a romance or two oracle card. Whoa. Unrequited love, huh? There's not enough attraction or chemistry to keep this relationship going. Okay, so for this is, you know how like back in the day people were married forever and they didn't believe in divorce? Some of you guys might have had that mentality, or believed, somebody made you believe that that's the way it's supposed to be. I know I don't love you, I know we don't get along and all this, but we can't get divorced because we just can't. The kids are suffering, whatever, but you know what, we're not going to be that couple. But the love is not the same, and you know that you need that freedom, and you would love to do your own thing, but no, we got to do it traditional, by the book. So then there is that coming to the conclusion of we don't have to be, we don't, it doesn't have to be like the way our parents did it. Now that I think about it, our parents really weren't that freaking, lovey-dovey, but they stayed together for us. And really, how did that affect us? Type thing for some of you. And your next card is passion. Allow your heart and soul to sing with joy. Some of you guys, you needed some more passion. You wanted more, but you felt stuck and obligated, and all you did was fight, and nothing ever came out of it. So when you admit it, like, look, it's just not the same anymore. I would love to do this, and I know you want to do that. Why don't I do this and you do that? Just cut the BS. It's enough of that. Alrighty then. Now let me give you one more card. Some of you guys are happy to get separated, and you're both happy about it. Crazy. And okay. Now let me give you one more card. This is the Angels of Abundance Oracle card. Come on. Dang. Okay. That's too many though. Too many. These wanted to come out. Alright. Fine. Focus on your priorities. Where you put your focus is where you receive your outcome. Your priorities are calling to you, which may produce a feeling of anxiety unless you give them the time and attention they and you deserve. Even a small amount of time devoted to your priorities will help you feel better and more confident. And then you have visualize abundance in all forms. God gave you such great spiritual power that everything you visualize eventually becomes reality. Hold a steady vision of that which is beautiful, helpful, positive, and filled with blessings. And that is what you will receive. There you go, my Aries. I hope that makes sense. Please like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And if you guys haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Push the little bell button so that you can get notified because something's going on with my YouTube notification thing. And press the like button. It helps my algorithm. You know, help a heavenly out. Okay. Thank you. Bye.